Good morning, pregame crew. This is Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis. It's Wednesday, January 26, 2022, 8:24 a.m. Eastern, 6:24 a.m. Mountain Time. You know, just a regular day. No big deal. Nothing big happening today. Just kidding. Big day. We'll be ready for it. Don't you worry. All right. Audio visual check, please. Thank you, Chuck. Hey, Blue Dog, Mustang, Charlie, Philip, Mary, Joe, Melissa. Hey, Melissa. Alejandro, Train Man. Lisa, I tagged you in the Amazon chart and general chat as well. Topher, am I the one going to do the job awning? Hi, Greg. Hey, Roger. Good morning, Joel. The Fed meeting is at 2 p.m. Eastern. Hi, Aaron. So my throat is a little scratchy. I apologize in advance. Hi, Wave, Script Shaman, and Matt, Calvin. Good morning. Good morning. We're having quite a bullish morning. We have Microsoft that reversed after hours once the call happened. Earnings beat, but the market gets really spooked before a conference call because the conference call is the most important thing about an earnings, not the earnings themselves. It is the guidance. What does the future look like? Because most of the time, people have enough data to figure out what is going to be reported. For example, for fourth quarter 2021, they're most interested in what's going to happen in the future. And so the guidance was up, and then it allayed everyone's fears, and they started buying. Hey, Sharon and Alice. Perfect. Hi, Megastroke. Thank you. Hi, Amira Asia. I normally don't sound like I've had a whole, what do you call a quart of Jack Daniels before pre-market. And I feel like I've been smoking Camel cigarette and Jack Daniels. My husband he's on his way out right now to get me a COVID test. So hoping that is okay. I'm fine. I'm sure it will be fine. We have a lot of notes today, a ton of notes. Maybe not as much as yesterday, but we have a lot. You have FOMO, Evan. You know what? Evan, that's the best thing anyone could have said to me this morning, because you know what? That type of self-awareness is step one in curing FOMO. It's literally step one. I have a friend right now, and I'm showing you this, and I'm telling you I don't have FOMO, and I mean it at the bottom of my heart. I don't have FOMO. So, back in here. Not here. Here. We had friends in Nevada that we met, and right here, he told me to buy this company. He was a big dude in this company. He said, buy this. It went up to $14.88. He cashed out. It dumped on COVID. He told me, buy again. I didn't buy. And he just cashed out again, and he's buying hundreds of acres in Montana this week, and I'm going to Cabo with them and staying at their place in a month or two. And he killed it, and I didn't listen. I flipped it for some money, but I didn't listen. I had FOMO for a little bit. So this was my first bout of real FOMO in trading, but it was really interesting. It taught me a ton. And now it's just like, whatever. It doesn't matter because there's so much opportunity every day. But recognizing it is actually a very good quality. Recognizing FOMO. And then my favorite is JOMO. Turn that FOMO into joy of missing out. Because a lot of times you catch things and then it's stressful because you're holding on to it. Like if you held, like Dan and I, a lot of us held XBI overnight. It was stressful. The next morning you wake up and it pulled back on us, and we were able to make it back green for the most part. But there's sometimes the joy of missing out and just not having the stress. So I would really encourage you to embrace your JOMO today with the Fed. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to make a lot of money today. And there's going to be a lot more people lose a ton of money today. We can't let you be in the latter group. And that's the most important thing. And the easiest way to lose money is to trade on FOMC days, especially if you're not an experienced, consistently profitable trader. The more I've traded it, the better I've gotten. But I had to stop there at the beginning and say, okay, this is out of my wheelhouse. I just don't understand how this is working, and it was too fast for me. But now I feel more comfortable with it, and every time it's a slightly different reaction, and I get more and more comfortable with it. Good morning. Hey, Philip. All right, let's look at DOT. Let's bank today. Let's do it. All right. 16, 17, that's not a double bottom. We broke that weekly. So we are in a monthly uptrend. We're looking for a monthly high or low. And you typically look for a monthly high or low when the daily's oversold, which is right in this area. And right now we have an hourly EQ. So I would be looking, if you're trying to nail the bottom of this monthly EQ, let's really plan here. You have a level here of 1816 and a level here of 1736. I would want to be as close to 1736 as possible, and then 1583 would be your next stop for entries trying to attempt a bottom fish on this monthly high or low on DOT. Perfect, Evan. That's right. Good job. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, please. Hit the notify button. Just hit any button, but just don't turn it off completely. Let's don't do that. So this is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. Follow me on Twitter. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis. We have an amazing trading community. We had a handful of us go to Mexico 2 years ago this week. I can't believe it. There I am. There's my husband. So this is who we are, chartguys.com. And we have a community. We have a big Slack chat community with 1,061 of my closest friends. We post setups, news, teach technical analysis. We trade price action. I have a master's degree in business. I find business to be extremely interesting. I was in the business world before I transitioned to trading. I love PE ratios. I love talking EBITDA. I love macroeconomics. I love all of those things, but I can promise you they don't overall help me trade better. Price action is way easier to decipher because everything else becomes noise. Then you're going to say, well, Lori, why do you have all this noise to show us then? So yes, I have a lot of noise to show you, but I'm telling you, you don't have to know all of these things to trade well. That I can promise you. So what we're going to do today is go over the indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. Here are my notes. FOMC today at 2 p.m. And this is the Federal Reserve meeting where Jerome Powell is going to come out and talk to us about what the Federal Reserve Board is thinking via rate hikes. Let me go pull up what Joey just posted actually. So the probability of a rate hike, 94.4%, no change, 5.6 for a hike. So this is what the market's expecting. So if they were to announce additional hikes beyond the 3, that could possibly unnerve the market because the market likes knowns. So it's interesting. Again, it's interesting to know what's going on underneath the hood, but you don't have to know in order to trade successfully. We have troops being deployed to Ukraine. Again, it's creating a caution day. It is unsettling. I haven't looked at VIX. 1 second. Let me pull up VIX. The VIX was green overnight. It has since turned red. So there's not a lot of fear over this new Ukraine announcement. So that's good. So we have a ton of inside bars. So yesterday I ran my scan for inside bars on stocks with high volume, greater than $3 average true range. I got 0. I kept rebooting Thinkorswim. I thought I messed up. What's going on? Well, it was because Monday was so extreme, we didn't have any inside bars. So this morning I ran that same scan and got 206 results. Tons of inside bars. So what I expect today, let me type this out. What I expect today, due to tightening ranges, i.e. inside bars, plus FOMC anticipation, plus big earnings anticipation, a low volume morning, meaning I am not expecting a ton of action this morning. Now, if we have news come out that could cause unrest and shake things up, then yes, we could have high volatility morning. but this is what I'm expecting. And I typed this out the last FOMC and I tried to find it in my notes and I couldn't. Oh, you're welcome. You are welcome. Okay, so I want to type this out. I didn't type it out. I typed it out last time, couldn't find my notes. So the initial, so we're talking about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's going to happen? Market's going to react. I have no idea which direction. I don't care. Market's going to react. Then the real it'll typically reverse. Whatever the reaction is, it'll reverse. And then possibly the real reaction occurs. So if you are selling at resistance on the initial reaction or buying at support, then that's going to help you. You'll nail this, or you'll stop out. Then the real reaction occurs. So what will happen is, I'm going to use this over here. What happens often is, let's pretend like this is 2 p.m. Okay, so this is the FOMC timeline. What happens a lot is, let me just go with it. If you're interested in my chart setup, it's on the screen now. I'm going to delete everything because it's pretty messy now. But this is the Squeeze Pro by Makito. I use the yellow 50 MA, green and red 8 and 21 EMA. Yellow candles are just inside bars tightening ranges, which you should see a lot of those today. So let's say this is 2 p.m. What will often happen, let's pretend like the initial reaction is to the upside. You would want to have all of your support and resistances marked. So let's say there's a resistance here and a support here. So you would want to short at resistance. And then if you stop out, you stop out and wait for like a 1 to 2 minute reaction before you just jump in shorting so you don't get your face ripped off. And then it'll pull to the downside or vice versa. Then when you come to the downside and you approach a significant support, wait for a 1 to 2 minute pause, and then you could flip from short to long, or vice versa. It could look like this. Let's pretend like this is 1 p.m. Initial reaction down. Then you wait for a pause, buy that support, wait for a reverse, and then flip to the short side once price pauses up at the resistance. So this is very kindergarten like drawing, and I apologize for that. I'm not good at drawing. But overall, the initial reaction is typically not the final reaction. And a lot of times you'll see initial reaction, then down, and then an EQ form. And so we waited all day to get to FOMC. FOMC occurs, crazy reaction, and then after FOMC we tighten more. It's like the morning and the afternoon are super boring, and then in the middle is nutso. I have seen where we just go up and then we rip up and it just keeps going, and same to the downside. Typically you'll get an initial reversal and you're going to get false signals. So that's the most important thing to tell yourself is false signals. Hi Farm Trader. I use a scan on Thinkorswim for inside bars. Okay. Shoot. Oh, I was going back to my notes. So typically, the first reaction is a false reaction. Not always, typically. Okay, so that's enough info about FOMC, because if you're not a ninja, and in here we call a ninja a consistently profitable trader. It doesn't mean they're better than you. They just have more thousands of hours of experience underneath their black belt. So if you're not a consistently profitable trader, sit on your hands. You don't need to be involved in all this. There's different ways. You can go give money to charity today. If you want to give away money, give it to charity. Don't give it to a ninja on the other side of the trade. So the US 10-year has a potential daily head and shoulders. Be aware of that. And that would help tech if it were to develop to the downside. We have 3 semi earnings. It's LRCX, XLNX. There's 3 of them. Today, we have Tesla earnings after hours. And this is a bummer, and it's going to sound weird. But we got great news on Apple this morning for the Apple Bulls. They're the #1 phone provider in China now. They are the largest by far. And then Apple got a pop on that. Tesla got some positive news this morning. I forget what theirs was. But that's not ideal to get a news pump before earnings, because are the folks going to say, look at this big bump we have, it's priced to perfection. Now, we've been pulling down for a while. How long have we been pulling down? We've been pulling down since January 3rd, so 3 weeks. So it probably won't negate whatever the earnings reaction would be, but typically you don't want to pump on earnings day. Microsoft earnings yesterday after hours will move down, complete reversal on guidance. And then this morning the Dow was leading, and then BA took a big earnings hit. It was a big earnings hit. They had to book a $3.5 billion loss on all of their airliner stuff. And YM was leading us, the Dow, and then it could falter. And if it falters, we need NASDAQ to step up. And it looks like NASDAQ's ready to step up. All right. Let's go look at ES. Now that I've totally torn up my chart. Okay, I don't want you to forget about this prior support, so I keep marking it. So here are your levels. If we look at the chart on the daily, this was an inside bar yesterday, meaning yesterday we stayed within Monday's range. We're breaking outside of that range. So any name that breaks the high of yesterday, then the Monday high becomes important. If not, we're looking at bear flags. We have bear flag setups on these daily charts, and we are looking for daily lower highs, unless Uncle Jerome really surprises us today. So just be on your toes, be agile, and size down. If you must trade, size down. So we're breaking through yesterday's high, but look what isn't. NASDAQ, oh, did it? It did by $6. That is not a bull break. That is still a double top. Even though it broke by $6, that's still a double top. So I'm still considering NASDAQ an inside bar inside yesterday's range, showing that it's one of the weaker ones. So RTY got through yesterday's high, got through Monday's high, and is struggling at Friday's high. So that's a little bit of a relative outperformer. And then Dow got through yesterday's high and Monday's high. Again, we could have a bear flag forming, but look at these lower wicks of bulls buying the dip. That is a positive check mark for the bulls and against the bears, because lower wicks just really show some hungriness by the bulls. So let me go give you those levels on NASDAQ. Key resistance, Monday's high. Just 1 second, I'm going to drink. Actually, I'm going to cough, so I'm going to mute myself and then drink water. Shelly, you are a rock star. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So 1.5, this is a really important level, and you'll see me very consistently set alerts. 165, oh, that's not what I meant. 14520. Tell me when price gets close to this 14524. I want to know when we get close to that resistance, because let me tell you, this is the most important number in the market today. If the Dow can't get through that number, that could be a perfect area for us to reject on a FOMC reaction. So again, be protective. That's a very important number. US 10-year, my beautiful drawing. I know you just love it. Potential daily head and shoulders. So will this right side be a right shoulder, and will it roll over and break the neckline of 1.694? If so, that is a check mark for NQ or tech. We want US 10-year to roll over. And I can't tell you how many times I see this happen, where it's like, oh my gosh, we have this beautiful daily head and shoulders forming. You zoom out and you have a potential weekly bull flag. And this may be the world's ugliest bull flag. So I like the chances of this being a daily head and shoulders and us breaking this neckline, and that would help tech a ton. RTY, let me give you those levels. And there's no coincidence that I have US 10-year right below NASDAQ. They're so closely inversely correlated. Okay, so on RTY, we got through some key levels. Good job, bulls. 2044. And for those of you that are trading XBI, which we are nailing it in the room, thanks to Dan, and just continue to bring it to our attention. So you want to watch RTY or IWM if you're trading XBI. So 2044 is the level we didn't get through, and that is from Friday. Support 1958, 1925. See, this is what I wrote yesterday. It needs to get over the 4-hour 50. I forgot to type in 50 RSI, but I was saying it could be an inverse head and shoulders. And it's still ugly. I mean, it's an 80 shoulders pad, inverse head and shoulders, but that would be really good for the market if RTY could get going and negate this daily bear flag, and we would still be looking for a bear flag, a daily lower high. I wanted to show you something on the 4-hour. So since January 4th, so look down here on the date when I hover over this candle, January 4th. Since January 4th, we have not had a candle close above what I consider key moving averages, the 8 and 21 EMA and the 50 MA. On the 4-hour, we haven't had a candle close above. That's significant. That has told the bears, every time you come touch those moving averages, short it, short it, short it, short it, shorty, short, short. And there's no character change. So we need FOMC and Apple earnings and Tesla earnings to change the character of this chart, or we need to stay in sell the rip mode, stay in it, but not today. FOMC changes things. We're not going to sell every rip. We're just sell at resistance, buy at support, only if price is pausing at those key levels. Dow 34782. Dan will be live in the room in 15 minutes. We go live 3 times, well, actually 4 times a day if you count this one. But I go live pregame. We have one of our chart guys or gals goes live at, I forget the time. What is that? 8 a.m.? No, 9 a.m. Eastern is live for about an hour and a half. Then we have a midday show, and then we have an afternoon show, and then 2 other times during the week we have technical analysis Zoom call for Q&A. So lots of live interaction, and all of your chart requests, or most of them, get answered. VIX, we've been watching this. We were all over this, weren't we? 4-hour, lower high, lower low. So the only thing slightly concerning is this was looking like a falling wedge on lower time frames, but the VIX does that all the time, all the darn time, like right there on the 30-minute. So that's not necessarily alarming. Resistance 28.89, support 28.14. Bitcoin led this move this morning again, and this is the 3rd morning in a row I'm saying the same thing. Bitcoin has given us clues. Now, Bitcoin could and will most likely have a reaction to FOMC. So just so you're a crypto trader, it doesn't mean you're immune to FOMC impact. Oh, this is looking like a rising wedge on the hourly. That's a pretty terrible drawing, but just be careful of that. Potential hourly bull flag. Resistance 38266. Then 39061. Support 3716173. 36576. Ethereum, finally, yay, I have Ethereum. 3628 is your next resistance, and then up at 3861. This is a nice move. So this has a rising wedge look as well, but it's breaking bull. So it gives me a little more hope for that rising wedge thought I had here if Ethereum is breaking bull. Gold. Careful on gold. Gold looks good on so many time frames, but man, this daily, again, why am I being so messy with my trend lines? I know better. I'm just trying to get it done fast. I know it's because my throat hurts. So we have a rising wedge look on gold, and it made me go look at GDX. I think there's a potential for a GDX short, looking for an hourly rising wedge against short against 3267, and this is highly risky, because GDX can sometimes get frisky, risky and frisky on FOMC day. So a top fish of 3267 on GDX, looking for an hourly rising wedge, because gold has this daily rising wedge look to it. And on the 4-hour, on the hourly, we're in a downtrend, and on the 4-hour, on any bounce, we would look for or scout a lower high compared to 1854. All right, oil's breaking bull. Oil inventory this morning at 10:30 Eastern. Don't forget that. If you're trading oil could get you. And we're just coming into that area with hardly any, look at this. Order book wiped out. Your next resistance is at 89.33, a prior support. Congrats, oil bulls. Your next support is 85.01, 82.99. And Schlumberger got a upgrade this morning. I was looking at that chart. It was a little too extended by the time I found it. So they got an upgrade. Rig had a ton of unusual call activity. So I was going to add it as a potential trade today, but it's so extended you would want to buy a pullback. So I did look for oil names. Devon Energy's got a new all-time high. Not an all-time high, 52-week high. So I really did dig this morning, and I just couldn't find a setup that had an entry spot. Okay. NG breaking bull. That looks great. We're running into this resistance right here, 439. We double top at that level for now. Next resistance, 4879. And we're just flying on that gas. Next support, 4271. And you have inventory tomorrow. I know. I will drink hot tea. I've been drinking way too much coffee this morning trying to get the scratch out. I don't like to listen to a scratchy voice, so I'm sorry about that. I'm going to get to names in just a second. Let me drink some water. Okay. Apple ranks top smartphone vendor in China. I was looking long this morning, but I don't know how I feel about that now after this news. So they have earnings tomorrow after hours, it says. I like Apple for a pullback long compared to yesterday's low. That doesn't mean you have to wait till yesterday's low. Just saying that compared to, we're looking for a higher low compared to 162.76. We don't want this to form. And let me tell you, let me make it real clear. No, that's not a rising wedge. I'm not looking for a lot of opening trades. I may flip XBI leveraged ETFs, but I'm going to take it easy this morning. And I thought y'all would find this funny, or maybe not. But I bought this. I bought this yesterday. So I last purchased yesterday. So I got my magic 8 ball on the way. So y'all ask me a question, will this happen? Will that? I'll just shake the magic ball and I'll tell you the answer. Because my joke is always my magic 8 balls in the shop. Because I'm not in the business of predicting. Even though I'm giving you setups, I can't tell you which way it's going to go. I'm just saying if this setup sets up correctly, then put your fishing hole in there, your fishing pole in there. Okay, BA. BA is recovering very well from their terrible earnings. So they are profitable for the first time since 2019, but it still is a short for me. But again, I'm not going to look to short. I'm going to be taking it easy this morning. I'm going to get mine's around 2 Eastern. If I trade like I know how to trade, how I've been trained how to trade. We went over GDX. Microsoft had earnings. They actually beat and it pulled down hard. Then they had the guidance call. Ha ha ha. I'm such a facetious bull. So our high this morning, 304.67. Your next resistance, 311.65. I like a pullback buy on Microsoft. Netflix, I like Netflix to the long side because, someone was just asking me about this. I had it on the list because our daily RSI is still 9. Just because it's 9 does not mean it has to pop, because now we've cooled off the hourly RSI. But I like a bottom fish against 360. Nvidia having a good morning. I like a bottom fish against 220. And if y'all forgive me, I'm going to wrap it up just a little earlier than normal because of my throat. I like a bottom fish of XBI. Right here, 91.05. Only if the market's strong. If the market's going to be a big do-nothing market this morning, then this isn't going to help. My analysis for the morning drive is not going to help. My analysis should help you after FOMC. After FOMC, if we pull back and we reverse, I'm going to look to buy Netflix. That's how I'm using my list, is it's more of a post FOMC list. If we pop hard and then start reversing to the downside, I'm going to look to short BA or long Netflix. So that's how I'm looking. XLF, it's looking good. I'm taking that off. That's not a setup. Have a great day. Oh, these spammers. Does that mean we really made it? Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notify button, and most importantly, use stop losses. TCGers, I'll see you in the room. Yes, Doodle 666. I would look at taking profit, if not partial profit. If you're profitable from a trade from Monday, I wouldn't bring all that profit into FOMC, but that's just me. All right. Dan will cover what he thinks about XBI Live in TCG.